You know, in English, there's a lot of words that sound very similar but have completely different definitions. So we made a list of a couple words that you do not want to confuse.
Find the voice in the crowd and live out loud.
Loose versus lose. So you see, the word loose means that something is not firm or tightly fixed in place. You can say, honey, your belt's loose. You must be losing weight. Or the word lose is to misplace something like, honey, did you lose my keys? Accept versus accept. Starting with the letter A, accept means to believe in something or to receive something, meaning, hey, I'm so honored to accept this award in that person's behalf. Or the word accept means unless or to exclude, meaning they brought everything except the kitchen sink. Assure versus ensure. Assure means to remove someone's doubt, meaning I want to assure you that everything has been taken care of. Ensure is to make sure something happens or to guarantee it. Like the flight attendant who comes over, I just want to ensure that everybody's seatbelts are fastened. Assure versus ensure. Advise versus advice. Advise is a verb meaning to recommend or give information to someone. Like, you may want to advise them to walk a little slower on that ice. It could be dangerous. Versus advice, which is a noun. It's more of an opinion offered to someone as a guide to action, like, you may want to take my advice that you want to come to a complete stop at that stop sign. There's a cop right over there. Breath versus breathe. Breath is a noun that refers to the air that goes in and out of your mouth. Take a deep breath. If you add the letter E to the word, it becomes breathe, which is a verb we use for the process of inhaling and exhaling. Come on, son, breathe. Stuff versus staff. Stuff is miscellaneous items or things that you own, like, boy, he's got a lot of stuff in his room. Or staff, which could be referring to a long straight stick, like a hiking staff. But staff could also mean people that work at your company, like, boy, this company has a large staff working here, meaning there's a lot of people that work at the company. Desert versus dessert. Desert is a hot or dry place, characteristically with cacti, sand, and not a lot of water like in Egypt. Oh man, I am thirsty. I am in a desert. Versus dessert, which is sweet treats that you eat after dinner like cake, pie, or ice cream. I would sure like to order a dessert. Envelop versus envelope. Envelop, which doesn't have an E on the end of it, is to surround something completely, like they were completely enveloped in his arms. Versus envelope, which is a piece of paper that you put a letter in and you mail. Hey, I received an envelope with your name on it today. Envelope versus envelop. Beside versus besides. Beside is a preposition that means close to or next to, like, honey, my keys are beside the bread box. Versus besides, meaning in addition to or apart from, like, besides the ending, the movie was pretty good. Quiet, quit, and quite. Quiet means silence or free from noise, like, shh, would you guys be quiet? I'm watching a movie. Versus quit, which doesn't have an E on the end of it, which means to stop or give up, like, would you just quit? Versus quite, which means to a considerable extent or absolutely or completely, like, I am quite done with this conversation. Vacation versus vocation. A vocation is a profession, a strong feeling of suitability for a particular career, like he chose filmmaking as his vocation. But vacation means taking a break from work, usually traveling to a different location, like, hey, let's go to Mexico for our vacation this year. Meet versus meet. Meet with the two E's in the middle means to make personal contact with someone, like, hey bud, let's meet up after school. Versus meat, M-E-A-T, which is flesh of an animal is food. Like, this steakhouse is delicious. They've got really good meat. Peek versus peek. P-E-E-K means to take a quick look or a glance. He took a quick peek in the window. Versus peak, usually referring to a mountaintop or the highest point, commonly referred to as the peak of the mountain. He hiked to the peak of the mountain. Hear versus hear. H-E-A-R means to perceive sound through the ear, like, I can hear the choir practicing in the church next door. Versus H-E-R-E, which is a location, meaning like, you better come here right now. Plain versus plain. P-L-A-I-N is an adjective meaning simple. That shirt is very plain. Or plain, P-L-A-N-E, which is short for airplane. Come on, we're late, the plane's gonna leave us. Still, still, and still. That's right, S-T-E-A-L means to take something without permission, like, oh no, that guy's gonna steal that lady's purse. Or still with two E's in the middle is a strong metal. He hit him with a steel bar. Still, spelled S-T-I-L-L, means not moving or making a sound, like, shh, just lay really still. So there you have it, 16 words you do not want to confuse. English can be a little confusing, and if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn some more English, make sure you download the Fluent Worlds app. In fact, you can click on the little link below in the description box. And while you're at it, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that little bell button so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. Until next time, this is Nathan Osma saying, go practice your English.
Find a voice in the crowd and